This B-17 World War II bomber, nicknamed Aluminum Overcast, is one of the few remaining B-17s in working condition. UW Oshkosh student and Iraq veteran Nick Brewer was invited to take a ride in the B-17 because his grandfather flew one during World War II.
My grandfather was Llewellyn Bradison. He was a first lieutenant in the Army Air Corps. He enlisted as a private in 1943, went through flight training, and was able to become a first pilot. So he was the main pilot of a B-17. He was with the 457 Bomb Group, and he was unfortunately shot down their very first mission. He was in fact the first casualty. Before he died when I was 14, he told me that if I ever joined service, I should always keep my boots on the ground because he had such a bad experience. And so I went about halfway and I joined an Army aviation unit with Black Hawk helicopters as a refueler. And although I wasn't a pilot, I still had a wonderful time for service and did a tour in Iraq.
Former B-17 pilot Steve Conway, now 91, accompanied Brewer during his flight.
The main thing is it's a symbol of strength.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing I'd rather do right now than to sit in that airplane and push the throttles forward and feel the power of the engines. You almost want to cry. That's the big emotion. I was on 42 missions, and I crossed the target 31 times. We won the war.
Green Bay Packer coach Mike McCarthy was invited by his grandfather to join the flight with his family.
I'm just really here to take it all in. It's, I think it's an honor to be invited here. Obviously, what these men have done for our country, and now to be able to relive this, this moment, and take a step back into history. I think it's an opportunity of a lifetime.
It was an absolutely amazing flight. To just think of the guys that, my age when I went to combat, just to think of them, but in a completely different continent. To fly in a plane that could actually be shot down, I mean, you really had to have some intestinal fortitude to you. And my grandpa being a pilot, he had a lot of experiences under his belt, ones that no one will ever get to experience. He was a POW, he was captured by the enemy, obviously. He was shot down over Holland. He was able to come home. I went to Iraq, but I didn't get captured or anything. So definitely got more of an experience about how he was flying.
For Oshkosh Northwestern Media, I'm Leo Costello.